Hello, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. My name is Nelly and I am an aspiring indie author. And today we're gonna talk about everything I've done this year so far. So I thought about this video. I feel like I may have seen someone do it, or maybe they did like something similar to this. And now I'm doing this. I don't remember. I know that for books, this is a huge tag, the mid-year book tag, talking about like what you've done so far, what you've read so far, what you plan on reading, all that stuff. So I want to do a mid-year writing check-in. I am so sorry. It sounds like my neighbors are, I don't know what they're doing, but it sounds like they're doing something. It's like everyone waits for me to start filming to start making all of this noise. Okay, so we're gonna try to ignore my neighbors next door. I think they're hammering stuff. I don't know what they're doing, but they're really making a ton of noise. Let's talk about how I've done so far this year, and then I think we're gonna talk about probably my goals for the rest of the year. So how have we done so far? So far in 2021, we have worked on like 5 books. The reason I say it like that is because technically I've thought about more. I just haven't like concrete put it down, and we're gonna talk about that. So basically, I've got 2 series that I'm mainly working on right now. We have Charmed and Twins. They're not actually called that. That's just what I call them for like my vlogs and stuff. In the Charmed series, I wrote the first book last year, so that doesn't count. But this year, in January I wrote book 2. In February, I wrote book 3. And then in March, I started editing book 1. So I have worked on all 3 of them. It's a 4-book series. The 4th one has not been worked on yet, so we're not counting that. But for 1, 2, and 3, for book 1, we've gotten all the way up to these final read-through edits, and then I'm sending it to my copy editor next week. So that's pretty close to done. For book 2, we are in edits right now. Next week, I will be sending off to beta readers. And book 3 is still just in the written phase. I have not started editing that, but I've gone pretty far with all 3 of them. So it's an accomplishment. Honestly, I feel like for the next half of, I was gonna do this differently, but let's just talk about it now. For the next half of the year, book 1 will definitely be finished. Book 2, I think will be finished as well. Book 3, I think we'll get to the stage that book 1 is at right now, so like ready for copy edits. And then book 4 in the series will be outlined, written, probably not edited, but like ready to be edited, basically. Okay, so that was technically the first 3 books I worked on for this first half of the year. The next book I worked on is the first book in the Twins trilogy, and that is fully outlined. Should have been fully written. Had I continued, I did it for Camp Nano April. Had I continued on in May, it would have been fully written. In June, I only worked on it a few days. And so my goal is to finish writing it in July, which I definitely think will happen, so that's not that big of a problem. But yeah, and then book 2, I plan on outlining in July. So we're already in the second half, what I plan on doing. I plan on outlining in July, I plan on writing like August, September-ish. And then book 3, I think I plan on outlining around November time and start writing in December. And back to book 1, I think I'm gonna start editing that around December as well. So far this year, I've only worked on book 1, and I actually pretty much, I know the romance plotline of book 2. I don't know like the external plotline yet, but I know the romance plotline of book 2. But yeah. And the final book that I've technically been working on in this first half of the year but technically just started it like a few days ago, is a standalone contemporary romance that I'm writing. I started this outline, the outline all together. I wrote it in 2 days, but all together it took me 45 minutes to write. Super fast. And I wrote the outline because I was like, oh, I have the idea in my head, let me just write the outline, and then I can write the actual book some other time whenever I feel down to it. And then that same night I started writing it. So, and then I didn't write in it for another day, and then I wrote a bit more yesterday. So that one's more of like a just whenever I want to, I feel like it, I'll add to it. But yeah, I definitely see that finishing around July, August, because I'm not pressuring myself to actually get that one done. So that can technically be done at any point, so I don't really know for the next half, but definitely around probably July or August. I'll probably edit it around October-ish. So by the end of the year, it might even be ready for copy edits too. I'm not even sure. Just because this is like, I feel like this could be so much easier for me to write, edit, and just get through. Because one, I think it might be shorter than the rest of my books. I don't know, be shorter than the rest of my books. And two, it's something where I don't have to make up a world. It's a lot easier of a story to get through because I don't have to make up this world and like try to remember what creatures are what, or like what land is what and all that stuff. So yeah, this was a pretty short video just to kind of wrap up what I've done so far, because I feel like I talk about it a lot in vlogs and stuff like that, but just for one shot spot to come back to and be like, yeah, by the middle of the first year I actually started working on my books. How far was I? I'm through technically approximately 5 books, 5.5 if you count Twins book 2, because technically it's not outlined, but I already know parts of what's gonna happen. And recently I started thinking about spin-offs to the Charm series, so technically even more than that. But yeah, it's just really nice to be like, wow, I worked on 5 books in 6 months. It's kind of insane. And then you wrap onto that the next 6 months on what I plan on doing then, and it's gonna be even more than 5 books, because I'm gonna be working on these same 5 books, albeit like the first one is gonna be almost done, but still I'm gonna be working on these same 5 books plus at least one more plus at least 3 more, because Charm book 4 and then Twins 2 and 3. So yeah, I'm excited for the end of the year so I can wrap up how much I've worked on and really put into perspective how much I can work on. Also, how much you want to bet I'll probably end up writing another outline for a contemporary book. I don't actually think I'll end up writing that book, but I probably will write an outline, because I didn't mention this before, but I already have 2 more ideas for the contemporary books. I don't have like the full sketch idea like I did for this one, but I have 2 more ideas. So honestly, we'll probably get 2 more outlines out of that, but I don't think I'll start writing it because I have a ton of other projects to work on. Right, so that was the end of this video. It was short, sweet, and just getting to the point of everything I've accomplished so far and everything I hope to accomplish for the rest of the year. And yeah, if you enjoy this video, please like it, maybe subscribe, stick around. Let me know down below what you've worked on so far, even if it's just one project. Last year I hadn't worked on my first project until November. So it literally doesn't matter if it's just one project, it's still something. You're still getting there, and it's still way better than where I was last year, where up until summer last year I always dreamed of being an author, but I never actually did anything about it. So one is still better than nothing. And so yeah, thank you for sticking around, and I will see you guys later.